Hello? Yeah, you can hear me? Great. My name is Stein Inge. I work for the consultancy company Beck. And I'm going to talk about DevOps. And this is the truth. So everything else is basically a lie. So, brief history about how DevOps got its name. Back in 2007, we had this guy called Patrick Debois, sysadmin, who becomes frustrated with conflicts between developers and operators while he was consulting on a data center migration for the Belgian government. In August 2008, the Agile conference in Toronto, then software developer Andrew Schaefer, he proposes an open space session entitled Agile Infrastructure. And exactly one person attends. And that's, of course, Patrick Debois. So Andrew, he skips his own session, since there was no one interested in the topic except from Patrick. But later on, Debois tracks down Schaefer, and based on their talk, they form the Agile System Administration Group. Another very important event at the O'Reilly Velocity 09 conference, John Alspaugh and Paul Hammond gave their now legendary talk, 10 deploys per day, Dev and Ops Cooperation at Flickr. Debois, he wasn't actually there. And he tweets that he's very sorry that he can't attend. And then Paul Nazrat tweets back, why not organize your own Velocity event in Belgium? And in October 2009, he does exactly that. But first, he needs a name. And he takes the first 3 letters of development and operations, adds the word days, and calls it DevOps Days. Conference doors open on October 30th to an impressive collection of developers, system admins, toolsmiths, and others. And when the conference ends, the ongoing discussions move to Twitter. And to create a memorable hashtag, Debois shortens the name to DevOps. And then the movement has been known as DevOps ever since. Since then, there's been more than 180 DevOps days. And last year, it was, I think, 57 alone. That's more than once a week. We have also organized the conference in Oslo 2 times, and it's also happening this year. So, what is DevOps? The original meaning is nothing more than this. It's about getting 2 disciplines that traditionally has been very separate to work together. But high-performing teams, they don't have ops anymore. But no ops does not mean that there's no operations. So we needed to learn this stuff. And this book was written way before DevOps, but this is actually DevOps. It's one of the best books I've ever read, and it's basically about making shit work in production. So I think there's a new breed in town. I don't know what to call it, but engineer or technologists are good candidates instead of developers and sysadmins. And they do both ops and development and make shit work in production. So DevOps is strongly related to continuous delivery. Our software must be ready for production at any time. And we need to do this to support the business, how the business wants to work. It's all about putting the release schedule in the hands of the business, not in the hands of IT. And to do that, we must also control operations. There's no time for handovers, and everything needs to be automated so we can put our stuff into production at the touch of a button. So continuous delivery loves DevOps because it includes the IT system as a whole. It increases quality and it enhances velocity. DevOps is also described as lean in the now famous book, The Phoenix Project by Gene Kim. And that book kickstarted a new understanding of DevOps, namely that it includes many more roles than just dev and ops. So even UX and design has embraced the DevOps mindset. Julia and Maria, colleagues of mine, they have the balls to test less and iterate in production on 90% designs, which wasn't usual a time ago. So Lean loves DevOps because it enhances flow. There's also a connection between how high-performing organizations innovate at scale and what we've learned from the DevOps movement. Simply put, DevOps is a precondition for innovation in large organizations. So the enterprise loves DevOps simply because it has to be adaptable and agile. And the next big thing are courageous executives. Courageous executives, they will not be disrupted. They are the next big disruption. And what they do is that they remove all internal silos, they melt business and technology together, and they put together multidisciplinary teams that can solve any problem that is thrown at them. And they get ideas to market super fast. So, and of course, courageous leaders, they simply love DevOps. To get to this point would simply not be possible if it wasn't for DevOps. DevOps, DevOps, DevOps. If you say DevOps enough times, you get really tired of it. And it has become anything and everything, completely losing its original meaning. Same goes for Agile. Who the heck knows what that even stands for anymore? So let's stop talking about DevOps for a moment. Let's talk about cloud. And not private cloud. Let's talk about public cloud. There's so many advantages of putting your infrastructure out there. Not just elasticity, reduced cost and cycle times, that you have the best operators in the world operating your systems. Public cloud vendors they also innovate faster, launching new services at all the time. So it's perfect for DevOps. So let the cloud vendor cover your ass. So instead of using the old way of operating systems on-prem, you should want to be on the right end of the spectrum. So we want platform as a service and software as a service. That's where public cloud really shines, like Oliver talked about in the previous session. And mark my word, containers is a sinking ship. We don't want to build our own path. There may be containers under the surface, like for instance in serverless. There are of course containers, but we don't want to care about that. So because cloud vendors, they have built the best paths in the world for us. So we want to use those and reduce operations as much as we can. Because I want the proper engine. The detailed sysadmin tasks and low-level stuff should basically be left to the cloud vendors. I think that operations in the future will be super simple. And mark my words, may clicking in the GUI be the future. If the cloud vendors can get their shit together and provide us with good documentation so we don't need to document it in code, I think it actually may happen. There's a lot of reverse engineering going on, but why do we basically need that? So I'm just putting it out there so that I can be the first one who said it. So we'll see if I am correct. So back to the title. The biggest lie of all is that DevOps is a specific thing. DevOps has been a movement like Agile, and a very, very important one. It has brought with it and made possible such things as continuous delivery, true agility, lean enterprises, how the cloud is functioning, attention from top management. And leaders of today, they have to embrace DevOps or they will be replaced. So I don't care if DevOps actually means anything anymore. It has brought with it so many good things and made all of this possible. Thank you.